Athletes, welcome back to the locker room here at Addict II Athlete. It's grateful to have you all come back and to find some good inspiration from our content. Please subscribe to our channel, click that like button, leave comments so we can answer some questions you might have. But today, athletes, I wanted you to come on, gather in and take a knee, because I want to talk a little bit about some principles. Again, much like what we talked about last week with, are you an addict? No. Same principle applies here, and that is that concept of powerlessness. I think that principle has a lot to do with old tradition, and I want to have a new way and a new discussion and a new way to look at this, and that is, you are not powerless over your addiction. If that were true, none of us would be here. I understand the principle behind it, and I know why they started it. But that's no reason for us to keep utilizing it as a mechanism for our perceived recovery. And what I mean by that is, if we define ourselves as powerless over our addiction, we are not going to be able to understand the principles of power and what it takes. Much like what Muhammad Ali said, it doesn't matter how many times I've been knocked down, it only matters how many times I get back up. That, athletes, is a definition of power. That ability to move forward despite all the forces pushing against you. When we get into a mindset that we are powerless, we give up. We take a knee, we down the ball, we give up, we surrender. We don't do that on Team Addict II Athlete, nor can we afford to in our recovery. Think about it like this. It even goes as far as in terms of recovery. I believe, and I coach on Team Addict II Athlete, that you can heal from this disease. You can heal from this issue. It doesn't matter how long you've had it, you can heal if you apply the right principles and if you target what's causing your addiction in the first place. I've been clean now for over 24 years. That's a whole lifetime. How did I do that? I understood where my mechanism of pain came from. I began to heal the parts that needed to be healed, and I was able to move from addict to athlete, to father, to son, to brother, to therapist, to coach, and so on. See, you look at it as maybe a situation like this. 20 years ago, you're playing high school football. You get ready to throw the pass, you get sacked, you break your arm. 20 years later, your son wants to go outside and have a catch. Hey, Dad, let's go outside and throw the ball around. Sorry, son, I can't. See, 20 years ago, I broke my arm and I'm in recovery. Athletes, broken things heal. We have to remember that principle. Even our addictions, if we are broken and we use to suppress some kind of feeling or emotion, we can heal that, but not if we're under that premise that we are powerless. It takes power to stand up and say, Coach, I need some help. It takes power to raise your hand and say, friends, family, I need support. It takes power to surrender, to throw that flag, to grab that door, to go into that meeting. It takes power. That can never be done, nor will it ever be done if you believe you are powerless. So again, you're going to hear things on Team Addict II Athlete that go against some of that traditional grain, and that's okay, because that's going to give you an opportunity to gain more insight, to be trained in different avenues. Now granted, those traditions work for some people. They don't work for some people that I've worked with, and so therefore we've created this whole team as an existence, as another way to pursue your recovery. So you get to accept what works for you and reject the rest. But on Team Addict II Athlete, we look at powerlessness as a no-brainer. We just don't cope with it. We move from powerless to power simply by pushing play on this video, simply by leaving a comment below, asking questions, jumping on our website, being ready to prepare to download our downloadable content for your own personal recovery playbook. These are things that are going to be able to help you move from addict to athlete, from athlete to father, from father to whatever. As long as you believe that you are stronger than you think you are, that you are not powerless, that you present yourself in a manner that says, I can do hard things. And until next time, athletes, go turn your mess of addiction into the message of sobriety. And more importantly, go take the field of power.